Hey, Aleska, where do your powers come from?
When I was a kid, I was turned into a super powerful fairy.
Wait, what? How?
Well, one day my parents heard about a witch living in a forest in the middle of nowhere that granted wishes. So they traveled to a place near the forest, had me, then went to the witch and offered to trade me for a surprisingly small amount of gold.
Wait, your parents had you so they could sell you to a witch? That's awful.
Well, yes and no. Yes, they sold me, but she's not a witch. Witches just do nature magic and act like hippies or goth kids. She's a very powerful being from the fairy realm.
But why would she agree to take a kid? It's weird.
None of the other of her kind were strong enough to cross over to this world, and after being here so long without anyone that understands her, she was starting to get lonely. She had never considered asking for a child, but when my parents made the offer, she saw an opportunity. She put me to sleep for 10 years while she performed a ritual to change me into a fairy like her, special deal powers and all. And when she was done, she put me in a shack in a swamp. She told me people from a nearby village would come sometimes to make deals, and as my power grew, people would come from farther away and ask for bigger things, until eventually I'd be just like her.
Well, at least you had the villagers to talk to and be friends with.
No, they hated me. They didn't even try to hide it. They'd call me horrid swamp witch and curse me as they walked up to my shack to ask me for things. And when I finally left the swamp and decided to travel around to see what the world is like, people still called me all kinds of things because of how I look. And I only looked this way because of what was done to me as a kid. I didn't know what it was like to have anyone treat me like a normal person for the first 27 years of my life. Then one day, when I was in a tavern, a purple dragon man came in shouting something about needing companions to retrieve a big jewel from some ruins somewhere. I was curious what that would be like, so I said I'd go, and he just shouted adventure and left. I didn't expect much at first, but interesting things kept happening around him, and it turned out he was a pretty nice person, and before I knew it, I had made my first and only friend.
Oh, Aleska, he sounds so cool. I hope I can meet him someday.
I'm talking about you, Eskrin.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was weird you said someone else was your only friend. By the way, what happened to your face?
Something happened to my face? I see how it is. I tell my backstory and all I get is an outline color and an upgrade to being a recurring character. I don't even get to be in all the episodes. She does it and suddenly she has shading? What does she think she is, a main character?